races in her career, but the only previous attempt at 7 furlongs was over at Newcastle's all-weather circuit last autumn.
Yeah, it was, and she wasn't in the best of form then, was she? So I would be inclined to certainly give her a second chance at this trip. Certainly, as I say, the way she saw that the 6 furlongs out last time at Haydock suggests that it should be within her compass, and I think she's a daughter of Mason as well. I think
she is,
so clearly this kind of ground suits her as well.
Certainly well treated on the best of her form. That winning run, as I mentioned, she won twice actually last year in the spring. She won at Ripon in April, and she won at Carlisle in May off a mark of 65 and 71 respectively. She's back to 65, the same mark she won off for the first win of her career at Ripon last year. Both those wins, incidentally, over 6 furlongs, one on heavy and one on good ground. After Lady Calcari, then Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. I mean, 17 runs without success. I mean, the last win came off a mark of 60, but it did come over course and distance, Ed, on goodish ground 2 years ago.
Yeah, it did. I think there's a time that Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo was in a real rich vein of form, because she followed up a Catterick selling win over 6 with that victory here off a mark of 60 over this trip. That was on good ground, so maybe a slight question mark against her for ground. She generally runs her best races on a sounder surface. Although that was a good run last time, wasn't it, against Red Rose Zorro at Catterick, when she was only beaten 3/4 of a length. That of course that horse's subsequent winner, and she ran. Bibbidi Bobbidi ran just as well, I think, when beaten by Gaffanfar here, again over course and distance at the end of June, so when she was actually ahead of both Merrycourt and Oriental Lily. But she's been strong in the market, hasn't she? She's now unseated Lady Calcaria from favouritism. She was the early favourite last night, and certainly early this morning as well. But strong support for Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. But I'm just always slightly wary that she just seems to have lost that winning habit.
She's been here 4 times before today, and she has won and been placed on 2 occasions, so she tends to run pretty well. I mentioned that last win was off 60 here, similar mark to today, and I think about not quite this time last year, June last year, she was actually second, beating a couple of lengths over course and distance. Yeah. So some of her good forms come here.
It has indeed, yeah. As I say, that last time did at least give you some confidence that she'll handle soft ground today, because that was certainly on the slower side when she was second to Red Rose Zorro at Catterick.
And if we can revisit Merrycourt, as I mentioned, rated 78 in Ireland, now with Ian Jadden running for the 6th time for Ian, so been with him for some time, but formerly trained by Ger Lyons. Yeah,
he's got was well handicapped on some of his best form, but he's yet to really show it for Ian, and he's yet to win on turf. So he couldn't rule him out of this, but he will need to improve, take a step up on what he's done in more recent times. But again, he's been strong in the market, 4-1 now, so he's certainly got his share of supporters.
Katie Scott, based in the Scottish borders, dual purpose trainer these days, and quite a lot of flat horses, including Gweedore.
Yeah, who's a maiden after 10 starts so far. Last time out, his run on soft ground wasn't a bad one. He wasn't beaten very far at all, less than 3 lengths behind Granite City Dock and Remy D over the extended mile there. So he's back in trip here. In fact, he's been running over a mile recently as well. So this is a sharper test for him, Gweedore. I would imagine he's a forward-going horse. He's likely to try to adopt a good early position, dropping back in trip. But as I say, a maiden after 10 starts, I think off a mark of 66. It's only a pound lower for that run at Hamilton last time. I think he just needs to up his game slightly if he's to break that maiden tag at the 11th attempt.
Not unfancied, quite strong in the market.
Yeah, he is, yes. I'm surprised, looking at the prices, that you've got 1 or 2 shorter than I thought they would be, and I think 16-1 for Donnelly's Rainbow. If anyone looking to try to play each way, of course the non-runners have decimated the each way terms a little bit here, but 16-1 would seem a generous price about a horse who usually runs this track pretty well.
Oriental Lily, the top weight's got winning form this season. Jim Goldie in great form, isn't he? A treble at Ayr on Monday, and Sean Curran on board Oriental Lily. This mare, Sean had 2 of those winners.
Yeah, he did. It was a kind of overdue red letter day, I think, for Jim, but certainly horses running well. This mare's got plenty of winning form, mostly on the all-weather or on slightly quicker conditions. So she's handicapped to run a race off 68, but I think these conditions are probably against her, Gordon.
Loading pretty quickly then. It's high time we went back up to Richard for our final race over 7. It's been 3 in the bounce over this interesting distance.
Indeed, not that long run to the first bend, but not the largest fields we've got again. Off and racing then. 7 furlongs again the trip. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo is out well into stride with Gweedore, and pushing up on the inside is Lady Calcaria, as again they string out here with a couple of lengths to Mary Court, who is in 4th place. Custard the Dragon pushed along. Donnelly's Rainbow and Oriental Lily are the 2 back markers. So Lady Calcaria in the yellow and white colours, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo in the white and green, just ahead of Mary Court, who's moved up on the inside of Gweedore. A couple of lengths back in 5th to Custard the Dragon, just pushed along, then Oriental Lily and Donnelly's Rainbow. The back marker would be about 6 to 7 lengths off the pace-setting Lady Calcaria, who is already just about to turn back towards home. So Lady Calcaria, attended by Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, with in 3rd place the grey Mary Court. Gweedore comes next, Custard the Dragon, Oriental Lily and Donnelly's Rainbow. So making their way past the halfway stage, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo poised on the outside of Lady Calcaria. Waiting in the wings is Mary Court, just pulls off the leader's heels. Then Gweedore, as they've now got best part of a furlong and a half still to travel. And out in the lead, it is Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, who moves through to dispute the running with Mary Court. Gweedore coming down the centre of the racecourse. Lady Calcaria comes next. They're inside the 2. And out in front, Gweedore has moved through to take it off Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Then back in 3rd place is Mary Court. Furlong and a half still to go. Gweedore out in front. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo is giving chase, but is still best part of half a length down. Gweedore for Andrew Breslin. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo is still fighting on the inside. Tooth and nail struggle between these 2. Gweedore still narrowly. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo with one final last thrust at the line. Gweedore held off Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Back in 3rd was Custard the Dragon, just ahead of Donnelly's Rainbow, Lady Calcaria, and behind these Mary Court. Success for Andrew Breslin and Katie Scott.
And like all good each-way bets, Ed's choice there, the each-way price of Donnelly's Rainbow, although the runners didn't... you might have been on with some firms that paid first 3, finishes 4th anyway, Ed.
Yeah, exactly. He's run okay, but again, a track position towards the back of the field I don't think necessarily helped him. It looked like Bibbidi Bobbidi Doo had come there taking it up to set to notch that long overdue win, but then came the maiden Gweedore, a maiden no longer, who took it up, approaching the final furlong, looking as if he was going to win quite cosily. In the end, he almost did his best to chuck it away, didn't he?
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, as you discussed beforehand, Guido's been running okay. 2nd here back in July over a mile, the 4th to Ayr and Hamilton Park over slightly further than today, and then dropped back in trip, leading well over a furlong out. Goes on to score for Katie Scott and Andrew Breslin. Here we go right from the start. The one that's dropped anchor is Donnelly's Rainbow, and you can see there after a sluggish start, Mary Court starts to make a little bit of ground as Lady Calcaria is up there setting the fractions, and Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo not far away. No,
Lady Calcaria did manage to get to the front. Didn't really back up that promising run last time, did she? I guess it's a very different type of test, isn't it, when you go from somewhere like a straight track like Ayr or Haydock over 6, where they can go hard and you can get a good toe and some cover, to then running around a very tight hairpin bend like Mussleburgh, stepping up to 7. It's just a different tempo to the race, and she's had no excuse from there really. So I would think, given the fact that that's twice now she's maybe run below form over 7, that she will come back to 6 furlongs next time. So I wouldn't necessarily give up on her for all that she's starting to run out of her 9 lives, were she a cat. But you can see Gweedore striking on under Andrew Breslin here, and at this point you have to say it looked like he was going to go on and stretch clear. Given that he's been running over further as well, you thought that he would stretch on. But to be fair to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, she's really stuck to her guns.
She's rallied.
She has rallied. It got a little bit tight, something of a slow motion finish in the soft ground. But again, 2 horses that were ridden fairly prominently have dominated this. They've come well clear of the third horse, which I think was Custard the Dragon, was it?
It was.
Who stayed on from an unpromising position. That's perhaps something of a return to form for him, but the front two have come miles clear, and once again it shows, particularly over this 7 furlong trip, Gordon, racing handily here, close to the pace, is usually an advantage.
And Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo not going down without a fight. Again, it's another big run here. She's been here 5 times and she's always run well here.
Yeah, she's clocking up the seconds though, isn't she, for all that she's running well. She's handicapped to strike, but I think you're probably going to start throwing good money after bad, waiting for that win to come.
These are the closing stages with Gweedore then winning for the first time in his 10-race career with Katie Scott and Andrew Breslin. We'll try and grab a word with Katie or Andrew. I would imagine Katie will be here. She was moaning to me the other day that she'd too many seconds and needs a winner. Well, she's got one, and she's got one with a horse who prior to today was still a maiden. He's a horse that has been fairly consistent of late. Can't see Katie then. Oh, there she is on the right with the baseball cap. So there you see scenes in the winner's enclosure. Rachel Gweedore winning for Katie Scott and Andrew Breslin. Gweedore then, a winner for Katie Scott, who joins me now. Happy girl?
Yeah, very happy. He's been a bit unlucky, keep bumping into one or two and things just maybe haven't gone his way. So he's been knocking on the door through the summer and a couple of times at Newcastle in the winter. So it was good to get one on the board with him today. And he's in front, what, fully a furlong, maybe nearly 2 down? Yeah, I think he will stay in time, but he's just a bit weak at the moment. This trip suits him just now, but in the future I would see him over further and potentially over hurdles as well. You've had him a while. I mean, what's he been like to train? Oh, he's an absolute dream. He's fantastic. Really lucky to have horses like him in the yard. Yeah, and owners as well? Yeah, so Lamont Racing owns him. Craig's in France at the minute, he runs that, so he's not here. But he's a big supporter of mine at the minute, and I'm really lucky to have them in the yard. What did Andrew Breslin, the jockey, say to you after the race? Yeah, he's thrilled. I think it's his first winner back from injury as well, so it's a good day for us both. Last time I spoke to you, you said, I need a winner, I'm having too many seconds. I know. Horses running well is fantastic, but when the handicapper keeps nibbling away at them, it's really frustrating. Because it's great going home being second and third, but nobody remembers them. You know, you need winners. Yeah, you might have another one. A good day, get even better. Kodiak last. Yeah, we've got Kodiak in the last for Thistle Racing. I think that's her, you know, she'll be good in that class of race. Jason Hart rides her. She's in good form at home, so fingers crossed she runs well too.
How busy you been since resumption? Because I know you're a dual purpose trainer.
Yeah, we've been really busy, really lucky, but we've got a few sort of 2-year-olds that are a bit backward, so maybe more work going on behind the scenes than what you would appreciate at the racecourse. But the staff are really hard working, great owners, nice horses, and we've got a few jumpers to get going now as well.
Going to say, I always ask people like yourself, flat and jumps, what is the split for your jumpers
We're
and flat?
slightly more flat at the minute. I love both, and the dream is to train good horses for nice people in either code.
And you keep going throughout the winter. You mean, I've seen you down at Newcastle with runners on the all weather.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Newcastle. I think we're really lucky to have such a great facility down the road.
And for people looking in, Katie Scott's a winner here at Mussleburgh. Put yourself on the map. Put
Yeah.
a pin in the map. Where are you
So we're
located?
based in Galashiels, so our closest track is flat here, jumps Kelso, but we're really accessible because we're close to the A6 to the A7, so travelling's no object.
And just before I let you go, we've got Scottish meetings later this week, Hamilton Park on Friday night, and Perth Gold Cup Day on Sunday. You're going to be represented?
We've got 4 declared on Friday at Hamilton. We've got 1 in the Lanark Bell, which is exciting. We've 1 entered on Sunday, but potentially it won't go.
And what was lockdown like in the Scottish borders?
No change for us. Get up, go to work, go home, go to bed.
Yeah.
Same whatever's going on.
And win a chicken dinner today.
Exactly. Happy day today.
Well done, Katie.
Thank you very much.